So environmental problems, we're starting. Each one of these covered tabs is going to be a unit in this class, okay? So this is an introduction to what we will be covering throughout the year. Anybody know what the root cause is to all environmental problems? Human. That's a good answer, but it goes a little more in depth than that. So let's go this way. Name me any environmental problem you know.
Pollution.
Okay, that's what I always get. So pollution is first. And you said air, so air is a type of pollution, correct? What other types of pollution are there? What? Water pollution, good. And?
Mineral.
Land. Good, good. So here's a picture for you. Land, water, and air pollution. Just 3 different types. They're all different, and they all affect us differently. I heard global warming. Whoops, that's the wrong one. I guess I'll have to leave it open. Global warming is here. Climate change, and don't get this mistaken. It's not a new name because there's no such thing as global warming. Global warming is a piece of the problem, which is climate change. So climate change is a lot. We started with worrying about the warming of our earth and then realized, no, climate change leads to so many other problems. We have to give it a name, and global warming is within that. So just think of that. And mainly caused by, obviously, us, as you said. Are these kind of interrelated? All of them are, just so you know, okay? Anybody know what loss of biodiversity is, or can give me an example? Okay, so remember when I said I want everybody to participate, but in order for it to work, we have to have some kind of organization. So we'll go with her because she was up.
Extinction?
Extinction is a big drastic, that wouldn't be loss of, that's gone. Deforestation is an example. So what are you losing there? What diversity? Trees, okay? Variety of trees or a specific species of tree.
Sometimes in farming with like GMOs, they start homogenizing.
Good. That's a whole unit. When you focus on one specific species and breed, eventually you lose diversity of the species, which causes a lot of problems. And there's a picture of one of the most diverse ecosystems, which is a coral reef. In one picture, you can find 15, 16, I mean, just a little snap, or 20 different variety of species and genetic variation. And then obviously the other shows you none. Keep going. What else is another major environmental problem? Or when you think of environmental side? Erosion would be land degradation. That's why I put here pollution and degradation, because they're kind of in one category. So we have loss of species. We have our climate is changing. We've got pollution, which includes ozone, just so you know, all those things. And we're missing 2 big ones. Overuse. Okay, we're going to say resource depletion, which is actually one of the root causes of all environmental problems, is overconsumption leads to a lot of these issues. So we've got, we deplete resources. And by resources, I wanted to show you this picture. Do you ever think of this as being something that could be depleted? Because it is. Yeah. We have states that have to buy water from another state because they don't have it.
Like, will we ever really lose the amount of water?
We are. So here's my question. We shouldn't. Water is a resource that should never run out. It's not supposed to. So why? What causes all of these things to happen?
Is it climate change, like with greenhouse gases?
That's one of them. What led to climate change? We've been around forever. Was climate change around forever?
No.
So what? What?
The advancing
What?
technology. Industrialization.
Okay, you're getting closer. With industrialization came what?
A lot of human activity.
A what?
Factories.
Yeah, a lot. I heard a lot, so I was...
Human activity.
Human activities is definitely... But humans have been around forever, and they've been contributing to all of these things, but they weren't a problem. Why are they a problem now?
A lot of harmful gases.
A lot of...
Overpopulation.
That's it. So here's a picture, so you'll never forget this. This is a pool. You want to go swimming there? Ew, yeah. Overpopulation. It would be from all the fluids. Yeah, overpopulation is the root cause to every single problem, okay? Because we're so many people, we're running out of resources. Because we're so many people, we're producing gases that warm the earth. Because we're so many people, there's more pollution. What is there also more of? One more problem.
Waste.
Waste. Good. I don't know what picture I have here, but I'll show you. Oh, yeah. Have you ever thought of this waste?
Oh, God.
Yeah. So if you go to my textbooks 4 years ago, this still wasn't in my textbook yet. What kind of waste is this? You know what it's called?
Technological waste.
It's e-waste, but not ecological. It's electrical, right? So you're talking refrigerators, TVs, computers. All of that waste has its own, now it's its own problem. What do we do with it? Do you know?
Sits.
Nope.
Break it down.
Well, burning is a way to deal with waste. Breaking it down is a way to deal with waste.
Can you even recycle that?
You sure can, but who recycles it?
Not many people are.
Who produces all our materials?
China.
We ship it over there. They take all our old computers. I think it's like 70% of our electronic waste ends up in China. And they recycle it and remake products. Pretty smart, huh? Yeah. What type of resource is this?
Agricultural.
Crops, agricultural, we hope. So what's the resource that can be depleted? Soil. So you lose fertile soil. Soil should be always there. But the ability for it to produce is what becomes a problem or what can be depleted or degraded. And that's just a picture of Earth. And I think I went through all the pictures. Overconsumption, that's us, born to buy, yeah. All right, so moving on, we're gonna kind of dive into each one. Define each part, get to know each part before we get to the actual topics. So what does overpopulation mean?
Too many people.
Definitely too many people, but there has to be a link.
Not enough resources.
Correct, not enough resources. So if are you in any classes that are missing desks?
Spanish.
So you are overpopulated, yes, because the desk is a resource to get through the day, which they're probably gonna take one of mine and put it in there. So I already let them know I have extras. Overconsumption is abuse of those resources. So those are really, really correlated. And again, our current world population, anybody know?
Over 7 million.
Over 7 billion. When I started teaching this course, and okay, I'm not a dinosaur, I'm old, but it was 6 billion. In my teaching career, our population went from 6 billion to 7 billion. And today, when I opened it up, it is currently at 7,346,000,000. So we're getting there again, yeah? One birth every 7 seconds and one death every 13 seconds. And rarely do you see this clock go down, right?
Yeah.
But it happens. When does it happen?
Natural disasters.
Natural disaster, war, good. Those, I mean, not good, but that's the answer. Correct, yes. All right, resource depletion. In order to talk about depleting of resources, we want to make sure we understand of what resources are. We kind of defined it yesterday. It's anything you need that you can get from your environment, starting with the sun. And the sun is, even though it's considered, I mean, it can fall under these categories, it has its own name, which is perpetual. But resources are generally broken down into 2 categories, except in AP Environmental, there's 4, yeah? What are they? The 2 categories. If you look at these pictures, you should be able to come up with an answer.
Renewable and non-renewable.
Good. Which is which?
The top's renewable.
Renewable would be the top, which means what? We can keep using it. It should never run out. It's inexhaustible. It's always available. All of those things mean renewable, okay? Like water, air, grasslands, or soil, those are renewable, okay? The other one is non-renewable. What does that mean?
It has a set limit.
It has a set limit. If we use what's available, what's going to happen?
Run out.
We will run out. We have limited quantities, and it will run out, and some of these will run out in our lifetime. So all minerals, all fossil fuels, and nuclear is a non-renewable energy. If we don't use it in a rate that is what they consider sustainable, if we exceed that, we can run out. And it happens. Now, even my renewable resources can fall under a separate category, which is potentially renewable. Anybody know what that means? Just by the word alone?
After a really long time, they'll finally renew themselves.
That is true. But renewable resources should renew themselves.
So if we overuse them to a significant degree, we'll run out.
So resources can become at risk of being depleted if we abuse them or degrade them. I'm going to drop this. So notice how I changed the words here from fresh, just water, to fresh water, fresh air, arable land, or land that can be used. Those things can become potentially renewable. That sometimes they go to such a low state that it will take years for us to be able to use it up again. Okay? So think about that. And that's where water falls. Overconsumption can take water from being what should be renewable to a potentially renewable resource.
So is the issue with water is that we're dumping
So who is the biggest consumers of the world?
in the United States?
Us. Yes, United States of America. We consume more than anybody. And here's an example of how much we consume. If everybody on Earth lived like we did, we would need 5 Earths. Yeah,
What's the population of the UK?
I can look that up. I don't know.
Because I think they're like about half the United States, and that's insane if they use like that much with their population.
But they're using, that's a per person consumption in terms of it doesn't mean that you would use that because it's a per person. So remember how we did it yesterday and you guys didn't see how many Earths, but if you're at 100 and something %, really technically, when you do the one that I did, the link, it tells you how many Earths. I had, I think, 4 Earths. Another time I did, I had 5. I don't think I've ever had a class that had less than, and we did it together, didn't we? Was this the period? Did I show you the map? Yeah, it was you.
So everyone in the world lives in the United States and take 5 pints.
Correct. At the rate that we consume. All right, so I'm stopping here. We're going to do like